Champions, champions, ole, ole, ole. Champions, champions, ole, ole, ole. We are here. Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast. We're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Live and direct.
As you can see, the shades are on. Why are the shades on, Michael?
Big things are going. Big things.
We are Premier League champions. 3 years doing this podcast. Well, I was going to say 3 years sitting on this sofa. The OGs will know we weren't always.
We weren't always on this sofa. Yeah. Thank you to the OGs. Respect your commitment.
But back on the sofa doing the pod as Premier League champions, we had to get the shades on.
It's actually quite mad. I was listening to a pod, and I don't know if this is it's funny because they were saying that they've been podding for 20 years.
Yeah.
And this is their first day.
Yeah.
Podding when Arsenal are champions.
Yeah, that
Premier
is
League
mad.
leaders.
That is mad.
The fact that we've been able to do it in 3.
Yeah.
Fuck
your
project.
Good luck.
Yeah. Fuck your project. It's our project.
Yeah.
We're the pod fathers in the Arsenal sphere.
Yeah.
We're the guys that have brought on the succession. We've had to have the down, and we've been long enough for the downtimes. Guys can't say that we've just picked up our equipment and we're just here.
Yeah.
No.
Agreed. Because even we took a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't actually, I think people still won't believe us, but it wasn't actually a planned break. It just kind of happened. But we were here at the end of all the downturn of Arsenal. Wolves. But we came after the Man City League game and we discussed everything that had gone before that. We had very honest conversations. We made statements about...
Go back and watch. Make this a better listen.
100%. Go back and watch that one. And we made statements in that episode about the summer transfer window, about certain players that, to be fair, we might have to hold our hands up today and give out maybe certain apologies.
Do you know what it is? It comes down to the ebbs and the flows of a title-winning season.
100%.
Some of you guys might not be aware. Some of you guys might not know what that feels like. But these are the natural ups and downs.
And as much as
the Arsenal fans can speak to.
We're Arsenal fans.
Arsenal fans can speak to the ups and downs.
Exactly.
The highs and the lows of what it takes to win the Premier League trophy and the love and the hate and the good and the bad, the rub and the spoon.
What you say, Man United fans can't join that?
No, I'm just saying there's certain people who just don't know what it feels like to be podding and also be a Premier League champion.
That's true. That is very true. I tried my best to get a replica Premier League trophy.
To grab it.
But it was too soon. The turnaround was too soon. Obviously, we're recording this.
We'll be back.
100%. We were recording this the day after Man City drew at Bournemouth, which handed the title to Arsenal. We were together yesterday watching that. So look, comment, subscribe. If you've ever seen any episode of the Tiki Taka podcast, if you've ever shown any sort of love or support, we appreciate it. And today is going to be a day for Arsenal fans to enjoy, episode for Arsenal fans to enjoy. And today's one is going to be a reaction to what went on yesterday, everything, the just initial feelings and whether it's sunk in or not. We'll have plenty more pods over the summer talking about the players and the manager and everything, all encompassing. Maybe we'll do an Invincibles and
team with the combined XI.
After we saw Patrick Vieira. So loads of that to come. So don't worry if this episode's only about 30-40 minutes. There's more on the way. Because there will also be another episode coming out this week, which I think you guys will enjoy. So look, Arsenal Premier League winners, first title for 22 years. Now, there's no real structure to this. Like I said, we're just going to speak about it. The first thing I'm going to talk about before I hand it over to Michael has to be Mikel Arteta. I think the journey that Mikel Arteta has taken Arsenal fans on, and it's always a difficult one because at the end of the day, it's going to be defined by what you win. Right? And being able to get over that line. So as much as it's almost a harsh barrier, it's almost like you're asking, because only one person can win the league, only one person can win the Champions League. So to say he has to win that or he's this or he's that, it's difficult. But unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles in football. And for 6 years, we've been bantered, mocked, clowned, everything that football's all about. But last night that changed, and it changed forever, because there's a level of respect, there's a level of understanding, and the journey that Mikel Arteta has taken Arsenal fans on throughout these last 6 years, from something that we've spoken about off there that we thought was pretty much impossible when we were at uni. We just couldn't see this football club being back at the top of English football, and Mikel Arteta as
yeah. I mean, with the Mikel thing, it's really tough on sort of where to start. But just coming off the back of what you said, what Mikel has shown myself in the last 6.5 years, it's actually really tough to like wake up a sleeping giant. Like it is actually really tough. Any of these other clubs who've gone 20, 30 years without a Premier League trophy or a trophy themselves or whatever it will be, it's actually really hard, man. Like these 6.5 years, the ups and the downs, the amount of times that we thought we were good enough only to realize that there's actually more levels to being good enough. It's it takes a lot of hard work. And I actually feel like the way in which we've won this Prem is very much Mikel coded. Like it's not necessarily Arsenal coded, and there is a bit of George Graham in it in the 1-0 to Arsenal defensive rigidity, this kind of stuff, but it's like it's margins FC. Like we've won this Premier League title on the margins, on set pieces, on defending throw-ins,
on VAR,
on our rest defense positioning, how many players we have on rest defense, and all of these other like small little stuff that, you know, that ultimately end up margins in a football match. Because that's obviously, like, Mikel's been banging on about that stuff for years now, about how you have to respect every facet of the game, every part of the game, and be the absolute best in every part of the game if you want to win, not just either being good on the ball or just being good off the ball or just being good at set pieces or whatever it is. Bro, there's so many small little details that I guess we can actually kind of take for granted over a 38 game season that I feel like Mikel has single-handedly imprinted onto certain players or the team as a whole that have culminated in the margins needed to win a Premier League title.
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously Mikel Arteta having some sort of first-hand experience of what it takes being at Man City before he came to Arsenal would have helped him to build a culture, to change the environment, and the place that Arsenal Football Club were in when Mikel Arteta came in.
Dark.
Yeah, he undone a lot of that squad. He got rid of a lot of the players that needed to go, and with his recruitment, with the time being given to him by the board and the people above, he changed the culture, he changed the environment, he united what was a toxic fan base, what was a fan base that consistently had infighting.
But all that stuff, as I say, you're so right, but those come into the margins.
Yeah.
Getting the fans involved, trying to make it a hostile stadium.
100%.
Like getting the fans off the ownership. When Mikel came in, it was Kroenke's out. Mikel, we need to chill.
He was like, I've never seen people so dedicated to succeeding, talking about the Kroenkes, and that was early on.
Bro, you had to do the documentary, you had to do this, you had to do that, like all the gimmicks, the win, the dog, you know, all of this stuff, isn't all just gimmicks, and it's all sort of added towards this culmination. I think one of the craziest things is when you actually just look at Mikel's finishes. I was watching some stuff on Sky or whatever it was, and they just have his sort of 6-year finishes, like the 8th, 5th, you know, second, first.
Yeah, and you know the back-to-back 8th is a bit of a myth because that was half a season.
It was half a season, but I think
it's really just 1/8.
But you know what? I like the inclusion of it now. Like at first I didn't like it because it used to be nasty, and I hear you for all of that you're saying.
Yeah.
But it is a bit of a like, this actually genuinely, guys, is what a project looks like.
Yeah.
This is what faith in a manager looks like. This is what investment in a manager looks like. All this kind of stuff. And there are actually very few managers in football, not even Pep. Yeah. that have or what do you call it, like a progressive trajectory like that, where it's like he's never really finished worse than he did the season before.
Yeah,
position wise, anyway.
Yeah,
you know that.
I mean
that is nuts.
That's what a lot of Premier League managers at least tend to struggle with.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
we've seen with Ten Hag. Obviously, we don't know Maresca. Obviously,
Yeah.
got sacked, but I wanted to touch on one of the points because obviously, like you say, not only the building, the culture, the environment, all of that's contributed to fine margins, the atmosphere in the stadium, which Mikel was very, very insistent on. But you mentioned waking a sleeping giant, and even look, I know my Arsenal's a massive football club, but even to me, the scenes
these
last
scenes
night
are nuts, man.
Are like, you can't phrase it any other way than awaking a sleeping giant.
Gargantuan.
Yeah, and the scenes at the Emirates, everyone outside the stadium celebrating, enjoy, guys singing Santico's all the songs together. That's
funny.
That is just special. And Mikel Arteta is the guy who's done that. There's already the quote about Wenger building the Emirates and Mikel Arteta turning the lights on, and he's bought the Premier League there, the first major honor that stadium has seen. But to do that, to awake a sleeping giant, takes some guy, and it's tough. It's difficult,
man. It's
and
tough.
this is obviously looking to the future, which we don't need to do today. Today's just about Arsenal winning the league. But once you awaken that sleeping giant, I think everybody else should be worried.
He's awake now.
I think winning breeds winning.
Yeah,
success breeds success. I think once you awaken that sort of beast, I think everybody else should be a bit worried.
No, there's a lot of reasons to worry. It's a young.
But that's a future thing.
Yeah, it's a young squad. It's a young manager. There's a lot of reasons to be worried. But
the scenes last night, man.
The scenes last night. I mean, I actually really don't know what to say because it is expected. But I think for me, what got to me was I thought there'd be a lot of people outside of the Emirates, but there actually genuinely seemed to be a human sea of people.
Yeah.
Like, guys are telling me hour and a half to get from Finsbury Park to the stadium, or to get from Holloway Road to the it's just like impossible to describe the numbers. Couldn't quantify the numbers of people there.
They're comparing it to Napoli.
That's why I said shut down the city.
Yeah.
Shut down the city, Napoli, and then the longevity of it. Like, cool. At 10:30, there was a couple 300, 400,000, 500,000 people outside the stadium. Cool. At 10:30, I'd expect that Arsenal have won the league in 22 years, biggest club in London. We've been saying that
on a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday night. We've been saying that on a sort of maybe biased thing. But for that sort of flow of people to still be there 3, 4 a.m. Guys are setting off new flares and new fireworks at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. Still there, still outside.
My brother
guys have work.
Bro, my brother didn't get back till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I was calling him. He was like, yeah, still active here.
Yeah. Guys have work, man. Guys have work.
Bro, someone told me this corner shop had like a queue of people lining up to buy alcohol.
Yeah, well, bro.
They're saying the London Borough of Islington's laughing, man. All the money lost for wireless.
They're
recouped from last night and the parade.
Having said that, the cleanup bill, I'm sure, is mad.
Yeah.
And the double down, keep them on retainer.
To top it all off, at 5 a.m., the Arsenal boys
come back out. I was wondering about this because I was like, it's nothing more than just a licked decision to go back to the stadium. There's nothing. There's not left keys. They've not left boots.
How many drinks do you reckon they've had by that point?
They've not left keys or boots or sandals. Like, there's no reason to come back. They weren't even. We didn't play.
Yeah.
We didn't even play yesterday at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them. It's one of them ones where you're out 4 or 5 a.m.
What do we do?
You can't believe, where do we go?
Nothing's open.
Let's just go and walk around the stadium.
Yeah. We're Premier League.
It's big.
And look, you lot, I mean, every single person that's part of this squad, with no exceptions, every single person, but those 4 that were there at 5 a.m., Timber, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Eze, you walk around that stadium because that stadium is yours now. Yeah, that football club is yours. It belongs to you. We've spoken about Mikel Arteta, obviously the scenes last night, but these Arsenal players who have had a lot of shit thrown at them, a lot of name calling,
yeah,
everything under the sun,
yeah,
and to even from us at times, yeah, maybe not on the podcast, maybe behind closed doors, but even from us, we've questioned them, and when we do a bit of a deeper dive, we're planning to do an episode on how Arsenal won the league, where we'll go through some of the fixtures throughout the season. There was the game that we lost at Villa Park, where off air, I questioned the mentality of this team and whether they could win the league. So I'm included in that, but they proved everybody wrong, including myself. And to be able to go and win the title in the way that they have, being in a situation where Pep and Arteta both had to win their last 5 games to win the league. We came here, we thought we knew what was coming. We thought we'd seen it before, but these Arsenal players, they stepped up and they showed us something that we haven't seen from them before.
Yeah,
I think it's a massive, massive credit.
No, absolutely. I think the season, it was obviously a crazy season, but the final 5 games or 4 games that you've mentioned, like when we lost to City and we were in theory sort of level on points because everyone was assuming they were going to win their game in hand and stuff. I think that right there for me is as special as it might ever get as an Arsenal fan, because it really, like you've been saying for however long, comes down to the, like, not comes down to the players, but like at what point can you just leave it to the players to rise? Like 4 or 5 games left of the season, like do I really need to tell you tactics and this and that? Like
this is for your own history.
It's for your own history. We're so close. I was saying a couple games ago, we're 3 games away from winning the Premier League. 3 wins. We've never been closer.
Yeah.
We've never been closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the fire that we went through in April, where it all seemed like it was lost. We were playing not just the worst like football in a long, like the worst football of the season. April, still, even with the title in hand, this was the worst football of the season. To the you talk about mentality, can they do it? Arsenal, are we bottlers? To come through that with clean sheet, win. I actually didn't know if we had that. I didn't know if we had those minerals. Like, we've spoken about not showing enough minerals at points in the season, certain games where it's like you can really put your foot on other people's necks if you go and get 3 points here today.
Mm-hmm.
But that stretch, when, as I said, when Arteta was coming out saying we've got 3 points, they've got a game in hand, let's see what happens here. It's a shootout. That to actually genuinely come through those games with wins on the board and clean sheets and stuff, I think it is solidarity, mentality. That is where it was won and lost. There's a lot of places where you can say it's won and lost. We'll go through the season and stuff, but for me, just Arsenal doing that is something that I've actually never seen us do, where it's title crunch time, all eyes on us. Everyone's watching every single game we have to play, and we're still churning out wins. Like, regardless of how it looks, we're still churning out wins. And then to your second point, I think this season is a bit nuts due to the copious amounts of pressure and hate and media narrative, and like this season has been one of the most nauseating seasons for all of the agendas and for all of the narratives set on Arsenal. And it's kind of fun because I was also hearing other fans of other clubs say it, in the sense of they've never seen a team under this much pressure to win the league. Yeah. It really was sort of a win or, well, it really felt like it was a win or bust situation. With Arteta. And I was definitely on that. Like, if it wasn't going to happen this season, if we were going to finish second 4 times in a row, like, can I convince myself that anything will change the season afterwards? So to actually genuinely come through that, you know, and guys are going to act like, guys are going to gaslight us and say it wasn't that bad, this was always going to happen, or when you spend that much money, you always end up in situations like this. Like, when the season was going on and we were losing those games to Man City on Bournemouth and we weren't playing the best football and stuff, and for however long people were telling us that this style of play wasn't going to get it done and get it over the line, the pressure on the boys, the second again, finish without no trophy, all of that stuff, man, it was suffocating me as a fan. As I said, we haven't even kicked a ball all season. Yeah, guys are telling me congratulations, the guys are telling me this, but it was suffocating me as a fan. So I can only imagine the pressure on Arteta, the pressure on the boys, the pressure, and, you know, when final whistles have gone in Bournemouth and City, and it's like we've actually lost back to back in the most important part of the season to come through that pressure, to still stand up and say, I actually genuinely don't know, the levels of resilience that the team have got to. Like, where is that? It's come from the manager, but
I think that's you're spot on there. You use the word resilience at the end there.
I didn't know we had
That's spot on, because when we lost at City, and like we said, reference the pod, you can go and watch it. Belief just wasn't really there, to be honest. Like, we knew we were still in it. We knew there was a chance, but it felt like at that point, City, they had the momentum. They were going to go through. They were going to move on. And our next 4 games after the City game, we beat Newcastle, West Ham, and Burnley 1-0, all of them.
Yeah,
and Fulham 3-0. So 4 clean sheets and 3 1-0 wins. And that is after...
That's a crazy run.
After the Man City game, when everybody said Arsenal are gone, they bottled it, they took the piss out of Declan Rice for saying it's done, but go check his Instagram because he told you. They took the piss out of him. Gary Neville, if I was looking at him, I'd be thinking, you're done, mate. No, it's not, mate. Yeah. So to go through all of that, the City fan drinking the bottle, Arsenal fans, obviously we knew they would have seen that, but they're proving now with the celebrations that they definitely have seen it.
It didn't. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I just think that is what not only will shock you, shock me, shock Arsenal fans, but shock the world. That response from the City game to come back and keep those 4 clean sheets, win 3 of those games 1-0, high pressure. That's why I say your to use the word resilience was perfect, because that is what it is. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, just rinse and repeat, focus on concentration. A bit of luck at West Ham. Thank God it was William Saliba's knee, because I said if that's Gabriel's knee, the ref
back
gives
of the net.
Goal.
Back of the net.
Ref gives that goal. He doesn't change the decision. Thank God it's Saliba's knee. Bit of luck from the VAR. Bit of brilliance from David Wright. I mean, to be honest, the West Ham game we can come to, talking about the resilience point, because I think that, like, when you think back on, I've said the Martinelli goal against Man City off air, but when you think back at moments where Arsenal kind of demonstrated, yeah, we can win this league. You think back, people talk about Mark Overmars scored at Old Trafford in March 1998. Sylvain Wiltord,
love that.
The league at Old Trafford. Thierry Henry ran the length of the pitch against Tottenham. All to win Premier League titles. That West Ham game, Trossard, Odegaard,
massive.
VAR,
Raya.
David Wright.
Massive.
But we should talk on that game, because I think that game was it. To be honest, looking back now, what do you have to say?
The West Ham one, I mean, it's squeaky bum time, sort of coming through that game. The fire that we had to go through. We knew if we win that game, it was sort of a not one hand on the trophy thing, but that was our toughest challenge in all the games that we had.
That was our Bournemouth game.
Yeah. In all the games that we had left, and again, it's a margins thing. Like, it's the West Ham game which I'll speak on, but to win any game 1-0 at the Premier League level, it's probably not going to be the best game. Like, in terms of swashbuckling football, back and forth stuff, all this kind of... I can't think of many 1-0s that are amazing football matches. And 2, the game is probably won on the margins. Yeah, so it comes back to Arteta, it comes full circle, that, 3-1-0 wins and 4 clean sheets. But the West Ham game... Oh, man, I don't know. We dealt with so much stuff in the game. I think Fulham is as important as the West Ham game. Well, maybe not as important, but the like juice that we got from the Fulham game
100%.
is why I think we've actually got to where we are today. Because like, if Arteta didn't put Skelly into midfield, then I'm gonna go with Kala and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I just don't know if we feel that feel-good factor that we had going into the West Ham lineup was serious.
Look, again, it comes back to things that we've mentioned, things that you said before about there's no more lessons we need to learn, sort of thing. Pep Guardiola has demonstrated in the last couple of years that from April, May, really, if you build the momentum correctly, that will see you through.
Yeah.
Now, April, there wasn't really momentum going on.
There was no
right?
momentum in it.
But
It might be the worst month in Arsenal football
yeah,
like history, bro.
But like you say, that Fulham game, yeah, which was in between the two Atletico Madrid games. We beat Newcastle 1-0, but I remember the feelings in the stadium and it was tense.
It wasn't good.
It was, yeah. We then went away to Atletico. We got the 1-1 draw, good result. We then played Fulham at home, and that performance, like you say, Skelly going in, Caleb coming in for Hincapié, Ben White coming in, whatever other changes were made. I think Trossard came back in. That Fulham game, the reception, I still remember the reception that the team got at halftime, obviously being 3-0 up, that level of performance, that 45 minutes, I agree with you, I think changed the trajectory.
I was going to say, it's funny
because they're beating Atletico in the semi 3 days later, I think also comes off the back of that performance.
Well, I swear to you, everything that we've done, everything that we've done follows through from being 3-0 up at halftime against Fulham because of what you just said, how bad April was, how nervous the beginning of May was, and it was just that the narrative of this style, this way isn't going to get it done. The nerves, all of this kind of stuff was just unavoidable. Yeah, I really like the interesting thing about this is the difference between performances and results. Yeah, because results obviously matter most. Yeah, the reason we've got to where we are today is not because we've had the best performances over 38 games. Other teams might have played better stuff than us, but we've had better results than everybody else over 38 games. But to what you're saying, like that 45 minutes alone at Fulham has lasted us like 4 weeks of hype, of fans being up for it, atmosphere.
All of a sudden, after that 45 minutes in the remaining games, nobody spoke about nerves at the Emirates. Nobody. After that 45, that was all it took, was that 45 minutes. Gary Neville on Monday against Burnley, he's like, yeah, it seems like the nervousness and the anxiety.
Everyone started saying it's a different team.
With the excitement. And
everyone started saying it's a different team coming into the final games of the season. So if football's a funny game, and
credit the Skelly, credit Calla, credit all the boys that came in, but credit Mikel Arteta,
of course,
for knowing that.
Of course,
to be fair, I don't even think Mikel Arteta could have predicted the momentum swing that
game that could have had.
At least you did it. You did it,
and you stuck with it.
You put yourself out there for the opportunity.
Yeah,
and you stuck with it.
It's as I say, football's a real funny game, and it's probably a conversation for another day. But results are king in football, but at the same time, like a performance can last you longer than a result can. You know? Like it's a bit.
And I mean, to be fair, we're talking about it, yeah. And obviously, post the Man City game, we've won every game. But the performance in the Man City game, and even at the highest level, the most elite level,
we accepted it.
Results are the be all and end.
Yeah, we accepted
it. And that's a title. Decider, it was billed. The performance in that game, we still were here like it's jarring, all of that, because yet again, fine margins and we can't. But the performance in that game showed us like, because I think some people were worried after the cup final that the difference between the two teams was quite big. At least for that 15-minute spell in the second half, at the start of the second half in the cup final, it looked like there might have been a bit of a gap between the two teams. But then to go to the Etihad and play them in that game, it was very much like these two teams are neck and neck. There's nothing in this for Arsenal to go there and put the performance in that they did. So even off the back of that, and I don't know, like I think, do you think when Declan Rice said that, because that's going to be the moment now.
Premier
League years, and when they talk about it, and Arsenal fans reminisce, and we'll all remember how they mocked Declan Rice for telling them it's not done. Do you think in that moment he was just trying to G up his teammates and get them on side? Do you think he really thought, no, look, it's just 5 games? Because Wayne Rooney made a good point. Wayne Rooney actually said on Match of the Day after the City game, he was like, I still believe Arsenal are going to win this game
because it's only level.
It's level. And now that the City game's out the way, Arsenal don't have to worry about that. It's not on their minds. They just got these 5 games.
I also heard people saying, and it's maybe a bit of like post-winning agenda, which I'm so happy Arsenal can finally set the agenda after winning. Because the City did that to us, and Rodri said that we don't go to win games, and it just stuck with us. And now apparently we just go to draw every game. Arteta just has a mentality of not losing instead of winning.
Yeah.
But I'm also hearing stuff like City thought they had done it when they beat us. They thought they got to the top of the mountain. When they came back and they beat us and they were 3 points behind us with the, game in hand and stuff, and almost exhausted themselves. Or, that release. It's the same way if we were to have the parade this Sunday after whatever happens at Palace, no one cares. It would be tough to go and get up for the Champions League final because you've already had the release of, everyone's happy, season's over, like this is a formality type stuff. Yeah. So I think that is an interesting sort of part of the puzzle. Like, it's tough to say whether that's true or not. This is a Pep Man City team and they've won so many trophies and they've done all of this and they've done all of that. But because we have our hands on the trophy and because they drop points immediately after that, like, was it a case of them thinking that they got to the top of the mountain and falling off a little bit?
Yeah,
you'll never know. But the Rice thing, I actually think the Rice thing, and it's tough for me to answer that question without putting my own personal projection and bias into it.
But that's what I'm asking for.
I think it was pure copium.
Yeah.
Because it was pure copium for me. Like, the final whistle has just gone at Man City. And Rice could have the wherewithal and the mentality monster. He could be the real...
Because if anyone was going to have that in the Arsenal
it could be him.
It would probably be him.
He could be the real
telling them all,
shark,
lads, this ain't
mentality
done.
monster. We still have 3 points. We still have all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, who's smelling blood now,
exactly,
Nico?
Yeah,
Nico O'Reilly. Who's smelling blood now?
Rice could be. You showed me that clip yesterday of Margs when he's going at Miles saying you're not cold-blooded like that.
Yeah.
We don't need to go too much. But Rice could genuinely be cold-blooded like that. But I wasn't. I wasn't cold-blooded like that. And I didn't think that Rice was corny or anything like these other guys are saying, because I hear it. You got to G yourself up. Otherwise, it's the same way Arteta is where he is today. Any of these guys that have joined us, Trossard, all these guys, they've got a delusional self-belief that it can still work out for me. It can still go. Bro, do you know how many times Arteta must have delusionally believed that this can still go in my favor?
Yeah.
Not off facts and figures, not off stats and form, just of pure delusion and emotion. Yeah. So that's why I think Rice was in that moment, but it's worked out for him, and he gets all the applause, all the sort of laudits, because 3 clean sheets, 4 wins, or 4 clean sheets, 4 wins, and stuff. So it's tough. It's tough. I mean, you never really know unless you ask Rice. Did he genuinely believe it was over or not? I genuinely believed it was over. And I thought that it was a bit of copium from Rice in the moment to G himself up for what is still 5-6 remaining games of the season. But we'll never know. And it not that it doesn't matter. We're just here to banter.
I just thought it was interesting.
Banter about it.
Because it will become
a big thing. And as it should. Because if it wasn't Rice, and I swear to God, if it was any other club, we would be saying Sharks mentality. Look at this guy. If it was Real Madrid, if it was whoever, we'd be like, yo.
They're already talking about... Steven Gerrard told Liverpool, we can't let this slip. And then he slipped. And Steven Gerrard ended his career with no Premier League titles. But Declan Rice,
I love it. I regardless of whether I think it's coping or not, that's, as I say, that's my own personal projection, because I was coping.
Yeah.
In that moment. Yeah, I needed anything, any lifeline, please. Maybe Palace are actually just a really good team. All this kind of stuff, yeah. But that is exactly how I want my players, though, to react, or my athletes to react. Obviously, I love football, I love Arsenal, my team. But really, in any sport, that if you're gonna be at the 1%, the difference between myself and Rice is a lot of things. But the vastest difference is our mentalities. Like that delusional self-belief that he can play that pass, take that shot on, not need to play it safe or whatever. Generally have an ability to affect games.
At 3-a-side, you don't feel that way.
At 3-a-side, like 5-a-side, you play 5-a-side, yeah?
Yeah.
A team can go 4 goals up, 5 goals up. Yeah, a team can come back from 5 goals. But when you're the team that has conceded the last 2 to 3 goals, I'm like, I think we should just hunker down here, guys. Let's
Shut up shop.
Yeah, let's have 5
On
minutes.
5-a-side.
Let's have 5 minutes where
You're
we
playing
keep,
horrible on 5-a-side.
let's have 5 minutes where we keep the ball.
Yeah.
Let's have 5 minutes where they don't have it. Let's get back into shape work and let's. I start telling guys let the ball do the walk-in. No one moves quicker than the ball. All that kind of stuff. That's 5-a-side.
That might be the biggest difference because Declan Rice seems very happy to just let the opposition have the ball and we'll just do our shape work and we'll move.
It's what I want though. It's what I want from all my players. If you was an NBA player and you was like, the reason we like Anthony Edwards and all these guys is there's times when the shot clock is against you. You got to have a good defender in front of you, but you have this delusional self-belief that this game or this tie or this series isn't over.
Yeah.
I still have something to say in this, and
look, we'll speak a little bit more, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. Because it's just meant to be a sort of reaction to us winning the league. Just to finish the point on Rice, I just think it's interesting because I wonder if anybody in our squad could have taken the Aura gamble.
I like that. No.
Live on Sky, at the
Etihad,
at the home of Pep Guardiola.
I got away with it. No way.
And come out on the other side. But forgetting about coming out on the other side, just taking the gamble and demonstrating that sort of leadership and demonstrating yet again why we paid 105 million for him. I don't know if anybody else in the team could have done that. And obviously, we don't know. Maybe if the players come out and speak about it, we don't know how much effect that might have had
in the
certain players. If Declan Rice is getting back in that changing room, making sure everybody knows, look, this ain't done. We're still here.
I'm sure Martin copied his mentality. I'm sure Martin thought it was done.
Well, he was the one he told him.
And then copied his mentality.
That's who he tells. Straight away.
Martin, well, if Rice believes, then I still have to believe.
Yeah.
Because the captain can't lose belief before.
Yeah, exactly. But, and look, Declan Rice, we got him half price. We'll sing that for the
Two
next
things
30 years.
To wrap it up. One.
I'm still...
Go on.
Yeah, let's... Because there's still a couple things. So Declan Rice, 100%. That transfer that we said at the time, I'm so glad that my club spent their 100 million.
And he chose to come to... Yeah.
And made their £100 million signing Declan Rice. And like you say, he chose to come to Arsenal and put Arsenal back on the map after 22 years instead of going to City. So shout out to Declan Rice. But also Bukayo Saka.
Of course, man.
Hairland's finest, the
star
boy. Like we're not signing 100 million forward players and trying to buy the Kylian Mbappe's and creating them. The star boy.
What's Saka's transfer value?
We don't even have to know.
Neymar thing,
because he's never gonna leave. He's here forever. So, look, Bukayo Saka, you deserve more Arsenal fans. He still hasn't quote tweeted that yet, but it needs to come.
The video's coming. He needs to chill down from the club. He needs to get his
bits
about him.
Yeah, look, I'll hand it over to you for the last three players that I was going to mention, which I'm sure you'll already know who they are.
Yeah. Well, Gabriel Saliba Raya.
Take it away, man.
No,
you specifically have spoken for years. About getting that stamp.
Yeah,
and now we're here on the pod, and Gabriel and Saliba specifically, but obviously we have to include Raya. We can't forget.
The only way to describe it is it literally means more. It literally means more. And Arsenal have never in my lifetime been a defensive club. Never in my lifetime. I've accepted poor defenders come as part of the package of having great attackers. That was the trade-off that Arsenal showed me from years ago. That was the deal we made with the devil.
And poor goalkeepers.
And poor goalkeepers. That was the deal we made with the devil, that will have great attacking play and it'll be nice and the carpet move side to side.
Yeah.
But defensively, we just have to leave it up to the
luck. Have 6 number 10s out there.
Yeah, luck and the flicks and tricks.
Yeah.
From the halfway line forwards.
And
anything
our tallest player will be 5'9".
Yeah. He's the goalkeeper. Ospina. So for Arsenal to do this little this return to a defensive prominence and all this kind of stuff, I was hesitant. I was unsure. I was like, how is this really gonna look? Like half of my football life cycle has actually been champagne football.
Mm-hmm.
But I've fallen in love with the grit and the grind and the dirty work. the mud on my fingers.
And why? Why have you fallen in
But
love?
Gabriel and Saliba, I'm there for every block. I'm there for every recovery. I'm there for every claim. You know the claims from Raya? I told you about the claims. You know, in Raya, it's like, I don't think he's read that one correctly. Like the ball's in the air and he's not really started his movement yet, or
he looks like he's underneath.
Yeah, he's at the front post, but the ball's definitely going to the back post, and are we sure he's read that right? Like,
and then it's just safe hands.
When he comes up and like, to me, do you remember how we had a conversation years ago about how Pep's not fucked up, but he's changed football and how your number 6 turns out of pressure is scrutinized as much as how your number 10 or number 9 is in front of goal.
Yeah.
How your winger is in front of goal.
100%.
I feel like I'm getting to those levels, or to be fair, I'm already at those levels with
cross-claiming.
Yeah, cross-claiming, recoveries from centre backs. Like when,
but to be fair, for me, when Thibaut was here,
yeah, he had cross-claiming
with Mourinho, and Conte. That was to me
that's
when I first. Okay, this is what it looks like.
We've never seen it though.
Yeah, but not for Arsenal.
We've never seen it, and you're right. Like our keepers have been more clowns than our centre backs, because Koscielny and Mertesacker had highs and lows, but they had 1 or 2 good seasons where they were like decent defenders. Obviously not Gabriel and Saliba level, but decent defenders. We've just never had a good keeper where I can put this keeper into serious conversations with anybody. Yeah. That's just never been a part of Arsenal's history.
I mean, he's almost unanimously the best goalkeeper in the world.
yeah. Which has never been, again, brand new.
Rival fans.
Brand new. We've had Thierry, we've had we've had a couple of the RVP, a couple other guys that are like in a unanimous somewhat conversation, but we've never had a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So and for the Gabriel and Saliba thing, I just it's not really fair to say that they worked harder than everybody else. Everyone's worked as hard, but I just don't know 2 people that have worked as hard, or that I've enjoyed their hard work more. Than those 2 guys, other than maybe Bukayo. But then those. You
feel
2
as
guys,
though like they really deserve.
It's such a crystallization moment, giving them a trophy, not just a trophy, a Premier League trophy. Because honestly, I think they're as good as anybody. I'm putting them in Rio and Vidic conversations right now. Rio and Vidic got bare trophies on them, but in terms of how I feel about them as football players, and like, I actually don't care who you have in your front 3. Yeah. MSN, and Thierry, and the old dogs, and all those guys. I know it's a tough game, damn near for anyone going up against those 2.
Yeah, I agree.
And to have that, as I say, crystallized in a Premier League trophy, other than that just be words and hearsay and, just an Arsenal fan being delusional, is such a surreal moment, man.
Well, look, keep an eye out, because we're going to do a video combining the Invincibles with the current Premier League champions, and see which Arsenal players get into that, and Gabriel Saliba. There might be some conversation. So, yeah, look, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was just meant to be a quick sort of like, well, I say quick, it's been 45 minutes. Quick sort of debrief on yesterday. Get a pod out. Let the Arsenal fans enjoy the content and be able to soak it in. And trust me, there's a lot more to come.
Summer.
Stay
seated all summer.
I'm looking forward to our rating
player the season. Here we go.
Then we can sit down,
digest,
and really hash it out. We can spend 25 minutes talking about Mosquera. We can spend half an hour talking about.
There's a lot of guys that need their time.
We can do all of that. There was just a couple of them that I felt like we needed to mention today. The core. Look, to be fair, I say the core guys. Kai Havertz, he's got a Premier League winning goal and a Champions League winning goal. We can just leave that one there. But Victor Gyökeres needs to be included.
Yeah, shout out.
Because we can't mention Saka and Gabriel and Rice and Saliba and Raya. In my opinion, without mentioning Victor Gyökeres, obviously, as we could go on and on and on with that point. But Victor Gyökeres, I think, is I mean, you could literally argue that's the difference.
Yeah,
you could literally argue that.
I'd be on that side. I'd be on that side of that argument.
And when you look at the spine of the team,
I said it,
and you go Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Gyökeres.
I said it.
I think he deserves to be a part of that.
I said it the other week about how he is obviously someone that's been here before. It shows that, but then also just on the this year from Jan, I said it last week or whenever we last podded about how from Jan till now, he's turned it up, not just for Arsenal, which is obviously what matters more to me, but for Sweden, like he's just all round second half of the season has been as good as any of your top 4 or 5 striker options in Europe, from Jan.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
100%.
he's been as good as any one of those guys that you want to name out there in the striker position from Jan till now, all things considered. Getting Sweden to the World Cup, pivotal big goals for Arsenal, home and away performance at Atletico Madrid. Like, yeah, unbelievable sort of returns in our first season, and still, like, anyway, we'll there's several other pods to come in later, but really, really, I feel like so many players, apart from our defensive players, scratched like the surface of what they've
got levels.
Yeah. Like so many guys should be having better seasons next season,
and maybe even on defensive players.
True.
But yeah, look, that's it from us on Arsenal today. We'll do tweet of the week.
Oh yeah,
mine is if I really deep it, Noni Madueke is a top 10 winger of all time.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Shout out Noni and Havertz.
That was hilarious.
Upgrading.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many tweets I could put as my tweet of the week. I saw this one. To be fair, this one made me laugh. It was like 20 years from now. Papa, why am I called Croupy after review?
Croupy after review. Was that from Nick?
No, well, it should have been.
Yeah, I think Nick said.
It should have been.
But and also the Gyökeres and Kane ones. Just a question for everyone watching this episode. Who has a greater Premier League legacy, Victor Gyökeres or Harry Kane? Let us know in the comments.
Well, to be fair, my tweet of the week, my tweet of the week will be any of the bookmark tweets. Like one of my friends yesterday was just sending him bare tweets that he bookmarked from 2023, 2022, 2024 of just like
bringing up the receipt.
Yeah, just like offhanded tweets that people said about Arsenal or certain players or this and that.
Yeah.
Any one of those tweets from the last 2 to 3 years about Arsenal and never winning anything and doing this and doing that, my tweet of the week. Retweet.
Yeah.
Every time.
I mean, the timeline scroll session has been unbelievable.
Doom scroll.
They're calling it joy scroll now. It's no longer a doom scroll, it's a joy scroll. Okay, MVPs and rookies. I'll start this off just very quickly. MVPs: Mikel Arteta, Saka, Gabriel, Rice, Noni, Havertz, Arsenal Football Club,
backroom staff, the
physios,
drivers,
anybody with any sort of association to Arsenal Football Club. Any Arsenal fans watching this, your MVPs. Arsenal fans all around the world, MVPs.
I'll give Croupy.
Yep.
I'll give.
To be fair, we didn't actually touch on Bournemouth.
I know. I'll give Senesi, Truffert. Fucking no.
Yeah, what a performance.
those Evan Nilsson, those 4
Alex
performances.
Scott.
Yeah, balling. Bournemouth finished this in Bournemouth.
At the top of all of that,
Iriola. Yeah, unbelievable.
Doing it for your boy.
And still potential Champions League stuff. I know they've got the Europa League, which they should be happy for, So Bournemouth in general.
Yeah.
I will also give an MVP to Unai Emery because I cussed him out last week. But I genuinely think that making Champions League potentially through the league position is really big for Villa.
100%.
It's really, really big for Villa.
Especially the way they did it. Liverpool are lucky when we're talking about it.
Yeah. Super lucky. I've
got Wemby.
Wemby. Bro, there's been so much Arsenal stuff. I don't know you played tonight. I haven't even been able to digest all of your content. All of you, the reaction to your 40-24 and
Well, and to be fair, actually, Jalen
Brunson, the Brunson burner
overtime. Wow, what a performance! 38 points. Fairs, The Knicks, man. You told me the Knicks were like Arsenal. Is it coming true?
Well, maybe. Spike Lee was here the other day.
Hey, baby.
Spike Lee was here just the other day.
Brunson. Fuck Josh Hart, though. Fuck Josh Hart. Rookies could go to.
Yeah, rookies. I've got Justin Clive. I just thought his cameo yesterday.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was awful.
I've got Pep, Rodri, Bernardo, Haaland,
Rodri,
Cherky.
Yeah.
They're all on there.
Yes, Everton.
We also didn't even mention the fact that Pep's leaving. Arteta's running him out of town.
We'll do that. There's a separate Pep.
yeah.
Everton. I don't know how. I respect Everton still. Thank you very much, Everton.
Yeah. But that was
just
poor.
another last minute loss. Another injury time loss. Like, let's just be better. Let's just do better.
Tottenham.
I'll
give Enzo Fernandez a MVP. Actually, he was balling.
Yeah. I mean,
Andre Santos.
Tottenham. Tottenham taking it. Tottenham MVP and rookie. MVP for taking it to the final day. Rookie for taking it to the final day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Anyone else you can think of?
No.
I think that's it. Daniel Farker can get an MVP as well, 'cause that was another good result on the weekend. Look, thank you guys for watching this episode and tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, especially if you're Arsenal fans. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know how you're gonna celebrate.
For real.
If there are any podcast ideas that you want to see from us, obviously World Cup.
World Cup.
If there's any other ideas, obviously we will touch on the World Cup. We're going to be doing pods for that, similar to what we did with the Euros. We'll see. But if there's anything Premier League related or anything that you want to see us talk about, let us know. Thank you for all the support. Arsenal are Premier League champions,
man.
We had to get the shades on today.
Shout out, MVP, last MVP. Shout out to the gold champion banner that has to be on the league table. That's in gold, confirmed.
No matter what, champions after 22 years, man. From nearly men to title winners. From also rans to champions.
And we're coming back, by the way, for the nearly men narrative. We were just building.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing.
Yeah.
We were just building.
Mikel Arteta has changed it. So, look, thank you all for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.